So this month, this level came out for free on the Unreal Engine Marketplace, and this looks so cool. But for most of the Android developers, it's not possible to run it on Android, and that's a wrong thing, and it's completely myth. We are going to run the exact same thing on Android with above 40 FPS in our phone. So just for the configuration, I am using Nothing Phone 1, and kind of flex for those who think it's good, and kind of roast for those who think it's bad. So let's leave that topic here. My experience with it is very nice. Yeah. So we will be testing it over there, and also the FPS would be above 40, and we will be only optimizing above like 20-25 meshes. You can optimize it a lot and get above 60 FPS even in a running phone. So let's get started. And yeah, just check the last part of this video because it's important. Thank you. So the scene is open here. So let's go and do whatever we want to. So the first step is texture optimization. So all the textures used here are of very high resolution, which mobile will not support anyways. So we will firstly downscale the textures. Now for downscaling the textures, there are two methods. First is using a plugin, and the second is without using a plugin. Let's first see how to do that without using a plugin, because when we use the plugin, it's a lot more easier. And I believe the plugin costs $19. So if you want, you can get that plugin. The link will be in the description. Although I will show you which plugin it is. So the first method is without any plugin. So let's go to content, and we have this Gothic temple. Open it, and what I usually do is just press on the add filters and add a filter for texture. Now it will display all the textures which you have in the map. And I usually just check one by one which texture is basically above uh, 4098, or maybe in for mobile I usually check which is above 2048 or is 2048, and downscale to 1048, and if it is a small item then even to 512. So let's open any of these textures. So its dimension, as you can see, is 2048 by 2048. So that is not good for mobile. We need to downscale it to maybe 1024 or something like that. So let's open any texture that we are going to use. So maybe this for the bushes. So this texture is imported as 2048 texture, and we need to downscale this. So if you come down here and go to advanced, so basically as it is imported as 2048, so that is why on this maximum texture size option, as you can see here, this will be 0. That means it will render at 2048 by 2048. Now let's see what happens if I make it 1024. You see, the imported size is 2048 by 2048. Displayed becomes 1024. Max game is 1024, and the resource size is 1365 KB. And if I reset it goes up to 5461. So basically, you have upscale, like downscaled a texture. Now, this way, the project size will not differ. Basically, if you had a texture of 4K resolution and you downscale it to 2K or maybe 1K resolution in through this method, then from the content size, like if you right click your content folder and check the size of it, which I usually do a lot, then the size would remain the same there. You won't see any difference. But when you pack this for your game, then the difference would be there. So basically, even with if we pack this game, the size would be a difference of 1 MB or 2 MB, whatever it is. Like it's 5461 KB, so maybe 5 MB, and when we downscale it becomes 1 MB. Now let's check. Now we can even downscale more to maybe 512, and the size comes down a lot. So this method is very useful, and you can even do one thing. You can just select, let me just put this here and go to content drawn again, select texture, come back to Gothic temple. Yeah. You can select multiple options. Let's select multiple, right click, and then go to asset actions and bulk edit via property matrix. What this does is basically you can now edit all of these, like downscale all of these together to whatever value you want. So there must be option for max, so we can just search, yeah, max texture size. So if I just make it 1024 and it now saves, so let's get back. So you see all of these are now edited and they have that star, that means they are not saved. So let's just save them. And now let's open any of these, maybe this one. And you can see the imported is 2048, but the displayed is 10 and the size is very less. So that means it did the function on all of the selected assets. So this way you can select all the, maybe the textures and just downscale it to 1024 or something like that. Let's move on to the next method. So the next method is using a plugin. So this is RD Texture Tools. I use it a lot. The developer is so supportive, has a very extensive documentation, and is the best plugin developer I have ever seen, because his all plugins are just on optimization and keeping your game fast, all written in C++ and very nicely made. So this RD text tools helps you to optimize your textures a lot. You can change a hell lot of things using this. And if you have more knowledge on textures, you can go play with it a lot. And our main cause is to optimize the texture resolution and decrease its size. So let's do one thing. Let's go to our content folder, Gothic template and texture. And now we already decreased the size of all these, but it still displays dimensions 2048 by 2048. And the size of this is still the same that it was imported as in the content folder, and it didn't change. Also in the preview windows, you will notice a lot of times it doesn't change, not updates it in the previews also. So it's a little difficult to decide what to do and what not to. And that's why this plugin comes into play. Let's open our content folder and check what is the size in the content folder. I mean the folder view. So here is all the textures put, all the textures are put here, and all have different KB sizes and some have even large. So what we can do is just in that props thing, just checking for the props, let's check what is the biggest size. And for Gothic brick wall, this thing is of the biggest size. So let's just go to Gothic brick wall, brick wall, and here are all the textures for the bricks. So these are 2048 by 2048. So let's select this, and firstly before that let's just check the size of it. So I will just set show in Explorer, and this is almost 11,000 KB, and this is a normal texture. Nice. So let's select all, just check the resolution for all, and it's all 2048 by 2048. Only select all those which have the same resolution and then downscale it to a resolution which you want. So basically you can check the dimensions, and if it is something else, like something which is not equal on both sides, then you have to select that alone and then downscale. I will show the example for that. So let's select all, because the resolution for all are same. I can right click and go to the tools option and resize rotate textures. And now all these options are a lot, and you can just play with them and learn more about the tool. But our main thing is new texture size, and we can select this maybe 1024 by 1024, or even if you want to create a more optimized game, then 512 by 512, and we just press on resize. I have never seen it crashing, so that should not be a problem. So right click now and just show in Explorer. And here it comes. And now it becomes 680 KB from 11,000, and that too in the folder. That means in our content folder. So whenever you right click the content folder, like right click the properties and check the properties, it would be a lot less. So currently the size is 1.36 and our aim is to bring it below 400, or even if we want a more better gain then 500. So we will be going and downscaling a lot of textures firstly. But downscaling doesn't mean that the game would be completely optimized. Then we need to optimize the materials and then lastly the props. So let's go out and select all those which have the 2048 by 2048 resolution. So I usually start from the end. So as you can see, this is already 512 by 512, so I will not touch this. So this texture is basically 4096 by 4096. So I usually will do it later. That means I will test the 4096 once later. But here I will do it with this because I'm just trying to do it like bring it down to 1024 type something. So that would not make much difference. So I will just select all. It's already 1024, so let's leave that. So here it comes. So this is what I was talking of. Basically, you can check the dimensions to be something is strange, 2017 by 2017. And we usually cut them half, basically, but here you cannot cut it half. So I will leave it because this texture is for the mountains and it's already a very big mountain. So I will leave it and work on that later. So I will now just select all those which I want to decrease the size for and move on. So we have all the textures selected now and we can just right click these, go to tools and resize rotate, bring the texture down to 1024 by 1024. We can even downscale a lot depending upon what type of game you are wanting. If you want a bit realistic, then you can go by 1024. If you want like something like COD, you can bring it even down and optimize the game more. So I will just resize and wait it. It's very quick. And if you have a slow potato PC, what I usually suggest is just select one lane of 2048 by 2048 textures or whatever the resolution is, and firstly downscale one lane, then move on to the next lane. Because usually this tool doesn't crash. I have never seen a crash on my any PC, but I still suggest for potato PCs because it takes a lot of time loading, because it has to downscale 4098 textures to 1K. So give it a little bit time. So I like converted 40-50 textures at this point and it was very quick. And now let's go and check the size of our content folder. So here is that, and now let's go right click properties. And now we have already came down to 574 by 574. So like 574 MBs from 1300 MBs to 575. So you can check how much difference that it made. So now the textures are downscaled a lot, and if you go near the textures, there you will be able to notice that. So, and now you can even play and it will be more optimized than ever because the texture size has reduced, but that doesn't still complete the process. We still have a lot to do. Although the collision is very bad in this project, no worries, we will play with that later. So let's move on to the next step, that is the material optimization. For mobile games, normal maps are a performance killer for sure. I have packed a lot of mobile games, and where there are normal maps, you have a great performance skill. So my first step to optimizing a scene for mobile is to remove that normal map, because till the time that normal map is there, you are getting a lot of uh, performance heavy thing on the like mobile. Whereas normal maps usually are used to like give a depth to the scene, but in mobile you will not notice the depth because firstly it's performance heavy, and second that's a very small screen to notice something like that. So normally normal maps should not be used in mobile games, and I say should not be used. Now, if you're trying to make something very bumpy, you can use a normal map at one or two places, but normally games use some other methods to give depth to the scene. And normally in games like COD, normal maps are very less used. So, as our performance thing, we will remove the normal maps from everything and check the notice the differences between them. So, let's go and do that. So the first thing is, let's move here. And so basically you can even see now if I go close to this texture, this is very like has become bad quality, but you will not be able to notice that in mobile. So that is a good thing for us. So now let's go to the content drawer, remove this texture filter. Now go to the new filters and add a filter for, sorry. So now let's go to this filter and let's add a filter for material. Now you will notice very less materials are there. Thanks to the marketplace creators, they make this process very easy for us. Now let me show you something. Let's go to this material section and take material instance. And now we got a lot of materials. So optimizing each and every material would be a very time consuming thing. So what they did was basically they made materials and their child classes material instances. So now if we change anything in material, everything would be changed in the material instances. So in place of changing the values for every material instance, we can just change the parent materials and that would take the place for all. Let me show you an example. I open this material instance and untick this material. Now there, let's select anything, maybe this. So this is Gothic column. Let's go to details and we have two materials here. Let's open all both. So, oops, I opened the static mesh. I opened, yeah. Oh, okay, so this is the material. Nice. So what we now need to do is now scroll down and we have the parent. Let's open the parent and here is the Gothic walls parent. Now you see how complex this code structure is and how heavy it would be on mobile to run something like that. So let's close this Gothic columns because we only need the parent class. And the first thing is to remove the normal map. So what I do is basically just press Alt and unplug this and remove. So it doesn't make any big change on the map. If you look from mobile perspective. Still, the normal code for uh, is heavy, like for base texture is heavy, but we will leave it like that. Also for specular and reference, I usually use a constant value. So what I do is just type a constant and put some value here and plug it in specular. So why I do that is basically you do not now need to calculate everything like this just to get specular and roughness value, as you can hard code a value what like you feel is correct for your game. Now values like this are important for the game, as basically in the last stage you want to cover as many devices as you can, and even specular and reference create a lot of changes. So for ambient occlusion we can even hardcode a value, but let me just check what the code for it is. Yeah, it's too heavy. Let me just hardcode it. Let's just set this to 0 for all firstly, and right click this, convert to parameter, and you can rename this to specular value, and right click this and convert to parameter, set this to roughness value. And for ambient occlusion we can remove this. Also if you want like be able to change it later, just double click on here and now disconnect. So basically if you want in future, just connect this and material will take it. So now let's apply this and check our walls firstly. So now as this is basically a very rough value, we can just put this to 1 and now apply because this is a wall. So now let's go, and it changed a bit but not that much that would affect your game in any way. The look still is the same. So we already made a lot of progress there. So that is a great thing. Now all these walls are already optimized. That means now if I select any of these walls, open the material for that, you already find a common textures, no, global parameter value for roughness and specular, and you can change that. And as the parent material is still M Gothic walls, everything is sorted. Now let's just save all and remove this. Now next thing is let's select the texture. So let's optimize all the other materials like this. Select anything because everything has a parent material. So we change for one and it will get changed for all. Let's open the parent class. It's temple assets and it's also heavy on the system. Although all them there are small mathematical operations, but still we don't want that. We just want to prevent as many as calculations we want. We will unplug this and also ambient occlusion. Then add a constant, convert to parameter, specular value, constant, right click, convert to parameter, roughness value. And let's make this one. And then we have a normal texture. So for normal, we do not want to use, and we have ambient, we do not want to use. So let's just apply, save. And you don't notice anything much. So that is the thing. Basically, you do not notice a lot of changes until you are an environmental artist and you really love what you do. So do not beat me for that. But yeah, for mobile optimization, we need to remove a lot of things. So the next thing is let's just select this landscape material. So let me just select this landscape. And now this is the most important thing because landscape covers the largest part. And let's open the landscape. And the parent class for this landscape is this M landscape. And here is the landscape material, a very heavy thing. So what we can do is unconnect. Unconnect the specular, roughness, opacity, mask, everything. Let's leave the world position offset and subspace color and remove this ambient occlusion. Pixel depth we can leave. Let's just save. Now it made a lot of changes here. So we now need to add custom features. So as you can see everything here, like the window is something like something was here and it is gone. So either you can paint it yourself, or if you want to bear some performance issues, like perform does that doesn't mean you will have a lot of performance thing. But let me just check where did it calculate that. I believe it was calculated in the opacity thing, or maybe in ambient occlusion. Sorry, I'm not that strong with materials, but I do know how to optimize it. Yes, it was with optimize with this thing. opacity. So let's leave that, but let's optimize the other things. So let's go to M landscape back and create three constants firstly. The first one is for metallic, then a constant for specular, and then a constant for roughness. And roughness I will put like 0.6, something like this. And metallic should be 0, because I don't want it to look like metal. And now let's apply. And this looks a lot cooler, and the material is a lot optimized now. So this is better, and you can even check by platform stats, like it's compiling, and you can just get all the values and even check the stats. So it has 245 instructions. I really suggest check one of the videos on material optimization. That's a lot in depth. And if you want to check what are base pass shaders, what is vertex shaders, and all these things, and shader count, so you can just check that video. That would be a much more good one for this, as maybe I'm not able to explain all these values because I'm not a material like I my work is not to usually optimize materials or work with materials, create materials. So maybe, so basically you will have to play with it and check what values differ. So basically I will just even try to remove these and apply once and check if that makes a lot of changes. If it doesn't like play a very major role, I will usually remove that. And let's check the map. That is gone. So let's plug the world position sorry, offset, and it is still gone. So let's add surface color and subsurface color, sorry. So the shader count came out to 3. So you can see what a single thing can change. And now the shader count is 14, but we have this back. So I will leave it as it is now because this looks good. Not much to optimize here now. Now my next major thing is to optimize all the parent shaders like this, parent materials like this. So I will go and open another thing, like select this tree and search for this tree material. So this is for the foliage, and it's heavy also. So we now let's just check the stats. So it's 388 instructions. That's very heavy for a mobile game. Let's copy the instructions from M landscape and put them here. Metallic goes to metallic, specular goes to specular, roughness goes to roughness. Emissive color you want you can have, normal goes away, subverse color remains, ambient occlusion goes away, uh, pixel depth goes away. And now the instructions came down to like shader count is 4 and path shaders are 369. You can optimize it a lot. Basically you can use just a single material for the base color. That's what I optimize for trees, because trees are the performance killers, I can bet. So what I usually do is you get a single texture for the tree and use that, or even create octahedral LODs for that. I will share more on that later. Not much difference made, so that works for me. Now let's add a player start and let's add a player start here and play. And let's pack it for mobile and check what the performance is like. All the materials are still not optimized, a lot is left to do, but still we will pack and check what it is like on mobile and how many shaders does it compile for mobile or something like that. So let me just show you my Android setup. Project settings. So I have selected this Gothic Temple as the main map and mode, and also the default game mode as the baby third person. And as it will detect it's an Android game, it will automatically even set the joystick. So also in packaging, I have like told it that exclude editor content, cook only maps, and given the list of maps to be included. I have not said this. I believe this is set by Unreal Engine itself. So yeah, I have not played that with that. And even if you set this to shipping build, it will be much uh, less than the development build. I believe they differ by 50 MBs or something like that, because then you will not have the optimization tool. But if you are like wanting to optimize, then just pack it on development so that you can run console commands. And then you want to go to Android, and I have just set this minimum SDK and maximum SDK, and also use display cutout reason and Android SDK setup. So that is it. Let's now just pack. I will be back when it finishes packing. So now in this map, basically let's check how this would look in mobile, because checking is a very important step. So let's go to the project settings, and then target hardware. And because we are creating it for mobile, select this mobile. And if you are targeting desktop, then just select desktop, just mobile, and restart it. Now I believe this will optimize a lot of things automatically, because a lot of options get disabled and the scene would look a bit different. But before that, let's okay, so not much differences here, although it's a little bit dark here, but that's absolutely okay until till the time we want to achieve optimization effects. And you can even notice these shadows. If I go away, they go away. So optimization steps are now already taking place. Let's go and go to preview rendering level and select Android. So you can even select Vulkan, and I have select ESP, so that should not be a problem. Although it will now recompute the shaders for Android, and hence it would be like maybe 5,000 shaders or something like that to compile. We will see. Now this looks very cool. Basically, we have the Android on. So basically you can see this Android button on here. So that means this everything is now working on Android shaders. So everything looks pretty much the same, not much changes here. And if you compare it from the mobile point of view, that's just amazing. So yeah. Nope, I don't want to see that. Please, please move forward. Bro, please. I will end that. Yeah, my video will get copyright. No worries. So, next thing is basically that is done. So, let's just check if any materials are left to be optimized, and if there are, we will just optimize these. Then we will fix this error and pack for mobile and check how things work out. So yes, this is still left, and you can see how big this of a code base is, and how bad this would be for our game. So let's go and open the material. Let's add a filter. Material, and the material was for the Gothic walls. So let's copy the code from here, pass in the specular value, sorry, roughness, and also the specular. Disconnect normal and apply. Remember, we are doing everything on the Android part now, as we have turned on Android, but these things are absolutely the same for all. And yeah, a little bit changed occur, but that is absolutely fine till the time you are focusing on optimization. And till the time it's compiling the shaders, let me just give a final look here. I hope I have not forgot anything. Let me just check once. And we have snow pile. So the snow pile must have a parent item, and we must have forgot that. That is a easy fix, I think. So we can just plug in it in roughness, and we can remove the normal ambient occlusion. So try to optimize your shaders as much as possible. That is the ending line, I would say, on material optimization. Save all. Now, if you're thinking the video is lagging a bit, I don't know if you can feel that, but that's because I am recording at the highest resolution possible. Plus, I have so many shader compilations going on in background, so that is why. And now everything looks better than usual. Yes. Now let's go and fix this error. So what I usually do is basically just create a new level, basic one, and the setup here is good. So basically this sky atmosphere, sorry, this sky sphere is the problem. So I usually just go in edit and copy this, and then go back to my own level and edit paste. And I have the sky sphere, and this error is gone. So you can just search for sky, and we just have a single sky sphere, sorry. And as the error is solved, where is that view? So now we have that error solved. So let's just save all. Now comes the second, sorry, the last topic for this video, and that is model optimization. So here is my ideology with method, like model optimization. Decrease the number of polygons as much as possible till the time the view becomes bad. Yes, till the time it becomes very bad. So select any of these meshes and just open that. So this is a wall static mesh. Looks good, right? And you can see they have very sharp corners, and everything is random here. So even if it starts looking bad, you will not notice that. Even if the corners look bad, you will not notice that. And that is what I do. Even though the LODs are very less, you can check the triangle and vertices count is 796, which is very good for a game, but I will still make it better. So in the LOD picker, I check the custom mark to true, and then I get the options for LOD 0 and LOD 1. So I don't know. Yes. Okay. So the LOD 1 is 0.15 screen size and LOD 0 is 1. So basically what this screen size means, when I am at some part of the screen where this item is less than 0.5% of the screen, then this item will use LOD 1 or else it will use LOD 2. So what I do is for LOD 0, I go to the reduction settings, and from termination I go to any and decrease the percentage triangles to 50 to both. So it will disable, like make it 2310 and 389, which is much more optimized. But still you see no much changes can be seen. That means the model is still looking very good. So I will try to make it even half. And now compile. It still looks very good. No major changes observed. No one will notice what happened here. And you can see even the corners are using some blocks, something like this. So it is even good. So basically, I will leave it at this stage because it's very optimized. The wall is now very optimized. And then I will open this second wall, and here the check the number of triangles and vertices. It's 3 1 9 7 8 9, and triangles is just so much, and which is not good for any mobile game. So I will just go to the reduction settings and make it 25 25 to both and apply changes. Let's see how it looks. The triangles, like the corners, became a little bad, but that is still good in my opinion. So let's go back, and no major changes can be seen again. So which means the triangle count came down to 8,000 and vertices to 7,000, and it is still good. So I will go on decreasing it. I will go to 15, apply changes, and it came down to more, and it is still looking perfect. The scene has no changes. The corners become a little bit changed, but because it's already covered by snow breaks, and so the little changes are just like okay. And the triangles are still a lot, so I will just go down till the time I see that this will now destroy the scene. So I will just stop there. This is still okay. I will go down more. And now here you see that was a major change. And I really don't want this type of destruction, although the scene still looks good. But you can see these changes coming into play. So I will keep it at maybe 8 would be a good value. And because the LOD one is already taken from this, so I will just take the custom. And okay, this does not have LOD one. Nice, it only has LOD 0. No worries, it's already now optimized. Good. So let's just save all. And then we will select some other mesh. Okay, so these are the snow piles and gothic cylinder, and these are just, let's go to these. So let's open any of these. Is the cross, and they have tried a lot of triangles. So let's go to any and make it 50 50. So as usual, my first step is to make it 50. No big change. 25 25. No big change. Change it to 15 15. A little bit change. So let's go to 20. Just that no user can identify. Yeah, the corners are good. Let's save that. Then was our this gothic bottom. It's already good, but because for such a small thing, I would not apply so much pressure. Even the corners I don't want to be like very good. I will just make it. Yeah, this is even good looking, like looking good. It's not bad at all. and a lot of things to correct. You can even use some plugin for this, but yeah, it just depends upon you. So the triangle count is very nice. Now the next topic is basically instancing. So if I don't know whether if something is getting called again and again, for instance, there are a lot of instance of these static meshes. As far as I remember, it was said that now Unreal Engine itself supports instancing, so you can check that out on some forum or something like that. But I usually use a tool called One Click. Uh, it is static mesh optimizer. So if you tell all select all these static meshes, it will change it to instance, and instances are very optimized as compared to these normal ones, like these normal static meshes. So let's go and create instances. So I have added the tool, and if you cannot purchase it, I believe it's for $9. But if you cannot purchase it, there are a lot of videos on how to create instance meshes, so you can watch those. Basically, the process is entirely simple. Just open this and go to Blueprints, right click this demo, and press Run your editor utility widget. If you're using 4.27 or older version, then you will need to enable a plugin named Editor Scripting Tools. So yeah, and just remove this voice. And now I will select all these blocks. So I will just search for Gothic blocks and select also 237 actors. So I will now convert them to instant static selected static meshes to instanced static meshes. You can see the number decreasing quickly. And now it starts coming back. Number of actors are here increasing also, so that should be good.
Process completed.
So now the process completed. Now what did it optimize something? Yes, it did. Now if I select any of these blocks, you can select you can see it selects a lot of meshes together. So it converted all of those to a single static mesh. So now when we had 100 static meshes, it's now running on the process of one. So that is very optimizable. Like if you have a lot of trees, then this is also nice. Although I have not tried to play with it like with it a lot, but yeah, it is. Now let's convert it to cylinders now, because cylinders are also a lot here in the map, and there are 41 cylinders, so we can convert these to a single static mesh. So basically shaders are compiling, but we will continue.
Process completed.
Completed. And these rocks are okay. The rocks are also a lot, so let's try to get the rocks. So there are 238 rocks. Let's convert them to instant meshes.
Process completed.
So as you can see, there is not much difference which you can artistically see, but it has changed a lot and optimized a lot already. So there are a lot of things you can optimize as well now. Basically, like you have these rocks, like foliage a lot, which is already instanced, so that is not a problem. But these are so many small amounts that they will like take up a large portion of our game. And if you see, we have a lot of grass. Let's open the grass and check the number of vertices, which is very less and which is very good at this point. So let's just save all. And now let's back and check what is the performance on mobile as of now. We also have god rays. I don't think they matter much because they are just static meshes, but let's just check what material is being used for that. Okay, so yeah, let's leave that. Let's save all, create, pack the game. Now, as you can see in this screen recording, everything looks correct, and we are getting an FPS of about 40. And if you have packed your game basically without any meshes, you would still be getting 40-50 FPS. And this no quality change has been done. And if you notice, basically it's smooth. So the thing is, in my phone currently PUBG runs at 50 fps on high settings, 50 55 something like that. Like I can feel that. So basically the thing is same here, which means it is very optimized. And remember that we have not still optimized most of the things. That means a lot of materials are still left to be removed and optimized. And that like proves that how good Android optimization we have achieved till now. And the draw is 340 and frames is 334, something like that. So I usually suggest to optimize even these rocks and buildings because all these cover up the area, as you are able to see them from the game itself, from the recording in as like you are able to see there. Now there is a problem with the landscape material. If we come down, you can notice there is a bug that not a bug, basically the float values are not getting calculated correctly on the material because you can see that square. So let's go and just fix this small issue, and let's just go and select our material and open the landscape material, and then open the parent landscape. Then on the left side, go down and you will get an option of mobile float precision mode. Just change it to use full precision for every float and just apply. That issue will get solved. So I believe that is it for this video because we have already achieved a lot. We are finally able to run it at 40 FPS in my phone, which is a major like thing. And I usually suggest to optimize everything else you can. I could not cover everything because I'm not going to use this scene anymore in any of my games, so it was not worth it to spend an hour more to optimize everything just to show 60 solid 60 fps. But I have even run brushify packs, all brushify packs, which I own, even the brushify forest pack. The performance was very nice. I'm just promising, if you try to optimize this way, everything will just work the way you want it to. And people usually say that mobile optimization is not that good. You cannot optimize the game to a good level. That is entirely wrong, because basically there are restrictions, but you just need to know how to overcome those and get your game rendered. One more thing, the size of this came to be 230 MBs. Let me just show you that. Let me just open this project folder in Explorer, and let me just show you what was the content folder size. Uh, so this is the APK, and it is of about 265 MBs. So great optimization achieved. So that is it for this video. Meet you in the next one. Yeah, one more thing. You can uh, follow us on LinkedIn. Please, let's just build connections, and also get us on Discord. You can even now find us on Fiverr, Upwork, and major platforms. Basically, we are doing now freelance projects so that we can fund our open source developments. All our plugins will be releasing nearby Christmas, so a lot of new plugins are coming up. Thank you. And yeah, all are free. Meet you in the next one.